Folks, welcome! I've been thinking about the current state of Call of Duty, and then I saw this clip of Gordon Ramsay.
I have the second calamari selling right now, ma'am. Heard?
Just 2 seconds.
Yes, sir.
It's already breaded and
yes,
fried.
sir. I'm gonna fry it right now, sir.
That's already cooked.
Yes, sir.
So when was it cooked?
Oh, actually, we get it in a box, sir. We get it from a fish company, sir. Completely frozen.
Just touch that.
Oh, yes, sir. Feels like rubber. I don't eat the fish here, sir.
How come you know this and you're still doing it?
My opinion doesn't matter in this restaurant.
Because you know it's bad.
Yes.
And yet you just, against your will, do it.
Life.
And I started thinking that so many people will immediately just go to blame the people up at the top of Activision, and now it'll be Microsoft, and just the people way up top who sort of control everything down low. Now, there has to be some sort of chain of command going up from the, these little devs who are maybe working on the smallest little thing up to the top. But these little devs, their names are still on it. They're just like this guy here who's serving this rubber food that comes in a box that's frozen, zero standards, zero nothing. The guy's like, hey, this is just life, which, we could then get into a whole big thing of like, yeah, life sucks. You don't want to do this, but you have to do it. These people are working a job that they've probably wanted to do for a long time, and now they're finally there. They're working on Call of Duty. It's big, right? That's huge. But at some point, somebody needs to say, these are our standards for a game, and we won't accept anything less. Now, I think one of the biggest things that they can do to get to these standards is say, we're not releasing something every single year, because it gets to a point where they're trying to fix their game for the whole year, and then the new release is just sort of an update on that. I mean, Modern Warfare number 3 is a great example. The changes that they made in Modern Warfare number 3 are what people were asking for after the Modern Warfare number 2 beta. And they finally made these changes, and they come out and they're like, hey, we put slide canceling back in. We put the red dots on the minimap back in. We're doing all these different things that people were asking for after the Modern Warfare number 2 beta. And it's like, why didn't you just put those in after the beta? And it's like, well, because Modern Warfare number 2 is still going to sell well. It has the name, it's got the characters, it's got so many of these things that are just going to make it sell well no matter what. They have all the in-game monetization with the bundles, Warzone. They're going to get a whole lot of money from all that stuff. So they may lose out on a few people buying the game, but they're going to get a whole bunch of people buying these bundles, doing all these other things. So it really doesn't matter to the people up at the top. But yeah, people always used to just kind of say, the devs, they have good intentions. They really want to make a good game. It's Activision and the people up top that are ruining the game for everybody else. And now Bobby Kotick gone. Microsoft on top. So who knows? Things may change. But you would hope that at some point you could have some devs with the testicular or otherwise fortitude to kind of step up and send messages up the chain of command to say, this isn't ready, this isn't good, I don't like this, we want to do this. I mean, look, Sledgehammer wanted a pick 10 system according to stuff that I've seen. They wanted to do a few things to make the game better, but they just won't make money off of the bundles, because if you have a pick 10 system as your creator class, you can't then have a gun and put 8 attachments on it. Because then that's what, 9 spots out of 10? What, you want a perk, you want a grenade maybe? You just can't do it. You can't then sell these bundles with 8 attachments, 7, however many attachments are on a gun now. I don't know. We have thousands of attachments, so it's kind of difficult to really figure out how many are on each weapon. But I like being able to put a bunch of attachments on weapons, but to say that we're not going to give you a pick 10 system, unless they just said, hey, the 10 is outside of your weapon and your attachments, but the weapon and the attachments is also what made it difficult to just choose 10, because each attachment did something very specific. Now that's just not the case. I like the simplicity of things. I had someone comment on a recent video and just kind of, I think it was Ghosts. It was either Ghosts or Black Ops 1. I'm going back and I'm kind of replaying these older Call of Duties and just seeing what they're like now. So if you want to check those out, go and hit up the channel. He said, now I see why Counter-Strike 2 stayed simple. I haven't played Counter-Strike. I've never had a computer that's good enough to run Counter-Strike. But that is the thing, right? The games that stay simple are good. Like, if you're fundamentally sound, like these older Call of Duties were. I just made a video about Black Ops 2 that it'll come out shortly after this. probably. In it, I was reminded how, from top to bottom, how good Black Ops 2 was. The weapons are all great. They're all useful. The streaks are great. The maps are very good to great. Everything's just so balanced, so good, so much fun. You're rewarded. The prestige system, the pick 10 system, all of it was just so good. Like, I went back and I'm like, I don't really know what I would dislike about this game. You also had the camo grind, which you still have now, but you had a different one, a little bit less. But now the camo grind is all you have to show your progression in the game. You don't have a prestige. You don't really have a rank to speak of because they took out the prestige system, so you just kind of slowly rank up. And I don't know, to me, it just doesn't mean anything. You also had titles and emblems that you could show, oh, I got an ultra kill. I did this. I got whatever. I got 5 nukes in like Modern Warfare 2. You had the different emblems that showed what you did in the game. Now you just buy it. I realized that people can't just say, no, I'm not going to do this, because they don't have the authority to do it. And these are people who've worked to get to this point for a long time. It would be foolish of me to say that this person should just tell, top of Activision, top of Microsoft, just, guys, I'm not going to do that because I want to make a good game. It just wouldn't work. It would be stupid. They may just get fired on the spot. Who really knows? But for these people who are down there that actually want to make a good game, they just need to remember that their name is on these, right? And if they really wanted to, maybe they could find a job somewhere else. I know it's stupid to say. At some point, you have to kind of stand up there. You got to be like the gentleman in the Gordon Ramsay video who just said, hey, that's life, right? I do things I don't want to do because I don't really run things here. Sometimes you got to be the Gordon Ramsay. You got to step up and say, these are my standards. This is what the people want, because I do think the devs probably look a lot more at what people want. It would just be nice to hear of this group of devs that stood up for themselves and said, guys, this isn't what people want. It's going to make you a lot of money, but what if we actually make a good game, that's going to make us a lot of money too, right? If you make a good game and a lot of people buy it and a lot of people are playing it, even someone like me, I refuse to buy any bundles in the store because I just don't support that, because I think the game isn't worth spending the money on. It's a first-person game and you're spending $20 to $30 on a skin that you can't see because the game's in first person. Maybe a weapon variant, but you only have the camo for one gun. And if that gun's good at the time, it's probably going to get nerfed soon, so then you're not even going to use that. You just spent $20 on it. Like, I don't like it. If you could buy, like, a camo individually for every gun, that's something that I may think of. Or if it's just, like, a cool skin individual that's not $20 to $30, it's another thing I may think of. And I did see, I think now with the Battle Pass, they're including a lot more stuff that you can actually just play for. You do still have to buy the Battle Pass, but at least as far as I know, and I did this for a while, if you don't purchase anything with those COD points from the store, you can still just go back in if you play through the whole Battle Pass and then repurchase the Battle Pass. So that's at least nice. It does seem like maybe some changes are being made in that direction, and if they are, then that's fantastic. I think a lot of people in the community have been pretty vocal on what they want, and so many people seem to want to go back to the old days of Call of Duty and get something similar to the old games, which right now, I would say just go back and play the old games because they're there, they're fun, and you can still play them. I would love remasters. I think that would be fantastic, but right now I think, at least recently, with Modern Warfare number 3 has shown that Call of Duty is not interested in remasters. They want to give you the nostalgia boost to go and buy their new game so that they can just monetize it as much as possible. But it would be great if some devs would just kind of say, we're putting our foot down. Maybe even like physically do it. Step into some higher up's office, the person just above them, the person that sort of oversees them, and just say, hey, my foot is down, pal. It's down, it's on the floor, and it ain't moving because this is what the people want. Maybe even come in there with evidence. This is what the people want. And say, this is the game that we want to make. It's a game that will sell well. It's a game you can still monetize in a lot of different ways. But it's here. And I don't know what has to happen for that. I don't want a lot more people to lose their jobs over this just because they stand up. And I don't know if Activision and Call of Duty are known for firing people just for standing up to them. And they're like, hey guys, we really can't say anything or we lose our jobs. publicize it. If you get fired for stating an opinion that isn't liked by the people up top, I don't know, go to the papers, or go to the internet, do something. People saying that the devs can't do anything, they're forced to do this. It's like, well, if Gordon Ramsay were to step in to Call of Duty and be like, all right, guys, let's try and make a good game. What do we have going on here? And he would see people down low kind of saying like, well, yeah, I don't have any power to do anything. He'd be like, well, why not? Why not? Why are you forced to put out shit just so that the other people can make money? When a restaurant keeps putting out bad food to the customers, you know, they may try it again. They may say, oh, this was a bad experience, but I kind of want to try it again. Something else looked like it could be okay. I'll go back one more time. If Call of Duty keeps the pace that it's going, a lot more people are going to stop playing the game. Numbers are already down. And it's these people who are buying the bundles that are propping up this dying franchise. And if they just made a good game, they could, boom, they'd shoot back up there, but they just don't. So, who knows? In my opinion, if Call of Duty dies, some say it's already dead, but if Call of Duty dies, it dies.
If we die, we die! If we die, we die!
Honestly, some devs, maybe that should be their motto. They should just listen to that speech every day before they go into work. Hey, if we die, we die. But we're gonna make the best game we possibly can. We're gonna make the game the people want. And if they don't want it, hey, look at all the other COD devs that have left from the golden ages of Call of Duty and are now making games to compete with Call of Duty. The thing is, for me, Call of Duty is the game. It's the game you know, and you've played for a long time. And it's smoother and just feels better still, even now, today, than these other games. And we need one to come in that can match that and go forward with what people want, instead of just let's make a below average game and monetize it in any way we can, and it's gonna sell. Part of that's also on us, the consumer. We need to not just buy the game and then hate on it, right? I didn't buy Modern Warfare number 3. Modern Warfare number 2 was the first Call of Duty that I bought since Modern Warfare 2019, because I didn't enjoy the betas. I didn't really enjoy multiplayer, and I got into Warzone, and I was like, this is all we need. It was the nostalgia and the advertising that got me to buy Modern Warfare number 2. And that game was just bad. That game is genuinely awful. And, you know, Modern Warfare number 3, I played the beta, and for me, it's the matchmaking that does it. And that's something that I know these devs can't control, but man, I just wish they could. I wish they would at least make a solid game, because the game itself, right, Warzone, there were several places around the map you could just jump through a wall, crawl through a wall, do all these other things that just weren't there. The loot still falls through the floor because the game just isn't solid. We're drinking that Kool-Aid. We're drinking that Kool-Aid. I am very used to this as a Nebraska football fan. Every year you got that Kool-Aid, right? Right now, Dylan Raiola. Oh, brother, man, that's some great tasting Kool-Aid. I'm drinking it myself, right? But will I go into the next season and think, national championship? Yeah. But, you know, that's somewhat a delusional thought. But we can't keep going in and just saying, I'm going to pay $70 for this game. Didn't like the beta, but I'm going to pay $70 for this game just because. We can't keep doing this, man. We can't keep in this loop of just giving them money for stuff that we don't like. If you don't think the next game is going to be good, don't buy it. Don't test it out and just say, well, maybe. If the devs are going to stay like the gentleman in the Gordon Ramsay video, and like a lot of people with Gordon Ramsay are, they're just like, hey, I don't have control. I just push it out there. Yeah, it's fine. It's my job. We need to be the customers who say, no, this food is terrible. We don't want this anymore, and we need to stop buying it. And if everyone who's still playing the game, they buy it enough, and they buy enough bundles to support the franchise, then so be it. But if Call of Duty learns that if they actually make a good game, more people will buy it, maybe that would be more. I really don't know. Like, that's the thing. I don't know myself. I'm just kind of throwing out some opinions, what I think. And if you agree, let me know, right? If you disagree, let me know too, right? I'm really interested. I had someone comment on a recent video that I did, a Ghost video. I went back and played Ghost, and someone said, don't let the nostalgia trick you into thinking that this was a good game or something like that. And I just kind of asked, what are these things? You know, what things aren't good? Because I always liked ghosts. That was just me. And, you know, I don't mean it in any kind of bad way. I'm not trying to be confrontational. I just genuinely want to know what people's thoughts are. Because I know a lot of people have different perspectives on things. A lot of people may know a lot more about things than I do. Like I said, this is just my opinion. If you do comment, please just try and make it substantive and civil. Let's just kind of state our opinions and be human beings. I know the internet can make that hard sometimes because you're just talking to people over a screen, but there is another person on the end of that. It's not worth it to be fighting over the internet. Hopefully either of these COD devs step up or we stop buying to a point that forces them to change. Something has to happen, and if it doesn't, Call of Duty dies and we play the old games. That's honestly not a bad deal. As long as those games have people playing, it's not a bad deal. We win no matter what because we can play the games that we've always loved. So, I don't know. Like I said, my opinion, take it however you will, love it, hate it. If you enjoyed, please like the video and hit the subscribe button below. We'd love to have you around here. We just enjoy playing games, right? That's what I try and do. I'm not great at anything, right? I'm okay at a lot of things, but we just like to have fun. So I appreciate you stopping by and checking out the video, and hopefully we will talk to you soon. I don't know why I'm doing the finger guns. Appreciate you.